Yeah.
All right, so we are live. Let's go ahead and kick this off. Let's hear. So, all right. If you're just joining us, I appreciate you being here tonight. My name is Amy Jewell, and I am the host of DeeMaine Reality. We are going live tonight. I'm going to try something a little different. We have the beautiful Miss Heather joining us tonight. We're going to talk about staying busy, staying sane, things that you can do during the quarantine or the unwanted staycation, as I call it. So I thought it would just be kind of interesting to see how we did going live versus just the audio. So I appreciate each and every one of you that have added onto my podcast channel and are listening to my episodes. I ask you to continue to do that. You can look in the ticker below. I'm at anchor.fm/DeeMaine Reality. You can also find me on Spotify, Apple, and 7 other platforms. I have them all listed on my site. So let's get into today's show. So first of all, I know all the goods, but Heather, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm Heather Jolene Alcantar, and I am a performer. I am a singer and slash kind of drag queen. And it's funny because the reason I say that is because I'm transgender. I'm a transgender woman, beautiful Latina, representing, doing what I do. And we've been hit pretty hard during this quarantine. And, with everything closing down, performers are not able to do their jobs. And we don't have unions. We don't have, a secure, for sure, amount of money that we're going to get, even if we don't go to work. So it's been kind of hard. So, doing things on social media, being creative, trying to keep yourself busy, on Facebook, Instagram, creating content, that has really been such a lifesaver for a lot of us. And we're doing live shows all the time on Facebook and Instagram, and a lot of, just a lot of new things that are happening. Even though we're all kind of depressed, we're finding ways to get out of it,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and I've seen your lives, and I mean, you are staying pretty consistent, and I think that's really important. I know my better half is a DJ, and he can't DJ right now, so he's always having to keep active. And you want to, like me, I say unfortunately, but it's been kind of beneficial. A few months before this started, well, not a few months, about a year, I had already transitioned into not working because of my disability. So I've been home a little longer. So I'm used to the mundane of nothing to do. Oh my God, I've watched every single thing on the internet. Like, what do I do? I'm so used to being out, doing everything, and it's just not working anymore.
Exactly. And
it's a huge change. Like, and I was talking to some of the kids that I interviewed a couple weeks ago, and it's funny to see even from their aspect how much it affects them, and we don't think about it. So
it's true. It affects literally every age group, every ethnicity. This is something that has made us all equal.
Yeah.
It doesn't discriminate.
Made you slow down, like pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes on society. Let's see what goes. Yeah. And that's how I felt about it. Now, other people have been very vocal that my point of view is not theirs or the mass majority. But to me, I've always thought that society was going too fast. We're not spending time with our kid. Remember back in the day, we used to spend time with the family. We used to sit down and eat dinner, but it's like everybody's chasing that next dollar, that next achievement. And it's, we go. And then what do you lose in that? So on the token, you're gaining that time back, but a lot of people don't know how to spend time with their families or spend time with, be away from their friends. But there's so many things that you can do in this day and age that, really open up the mental, because if you are home and alone, the mental, like you said, the mental is a game that, man, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a fighting war.
You can't win the war unless you fight. That's
exactly.
What I always say.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. Like, they don't know that that's what's going on, because they're like, oh, I've never had a mental issue before, but if you go from out to like being home all the time,
that we, at the same time, a lot of the people who have really not experienced any type of, anxiety, depression, bipolar, any of that, any type of mental health issue, they're starting to feel it now because they're having to stay home.
Exactly.
They don't know if they're going to get paid, you know, and now they're feeling a type of anxiety that we may not necessarily feel for the same reasons, but they're feeling anxiety now. They're feeling this depression, this hopelessness, this sense of not being able to control anything, and they're so used to being in control.
I think
And
that's you just hit the nail on the head right there. They're so used to being in control, and
mm-hmm.
now they don't have any control.
And I'm a control freak.
Aren't we all?
But there are certain things that you can control, and there's certain things that you can't. And the things that we can control is what we do, what we
Exactly.
can do to make this a little easier, if you want to call it that, or just more bearable.
Yeah. And I think that everybody has their own resources to do so, but in the same token, you have to remember that a lot of people don't know how to use those resources or that they're even available. So they're just kind of lost in space.
Exactly.
And so, I love the fact that you're doing the lives. I love to hear you sing. I've loved it since day one. Funny story. The way that Heather and I met was 2012, I believe. Voice season 2.
The Voice
auditions here in Houston. We met in the line, and I tell you what, some people you're just meant to be with, and
Oh, we clicked instantly.
Yeah, exactly. Clicked right there. Yeah. And ever since then, you're soulmate. And it's funny, literally my soulmate. But I love to hear you sing. I love that you have the confidence to get on and sing, because I've watched you transition over the years. And I know that transitioning is not an easy thing. So to have that confidence and, just you are helping so many other people by doing that, I know sometimes we're all a little insecure about things like that, but you just have to, go with it and just be you like you always do. And you're gorgeous and sound great. And so you are helping other people in that aspect.
It's interesting that you say that because, growing up a singer and growing up in church and then getting a, record deal at a young age and kind of that not really working out the way that I wanted it to. And then just my whole life I've just questioned who I was. And now instead of questioning who I am, I'm accepting it. And I'm, to me, it's like I've inspired people before, but I feel now I'm being made aware that I'm inspiring more people. And I'm not even famous, I'm not even like a celebrity. I'm a local performer, it's,
but it's the people that are close to you that are experiencing the same thing that maybe you don't know that will affect you more than a celebrity. Because somebody that I know that I can relate with on the same page affects me more if they're doing the same thing versus, say, Justin Timberlake doing the same thing.
Right.
It's not going to affect me because I don't have millions and millions of dollars. I don't travel. I don't live that bougie lifestyle.
Right.
No hate on Justin if you ever come into the stream. I love you.
No, we love you, Justin. I have a problem.
So, but if somebody else that is in the same situation as you are close to it, that personally, you affect more people. And I just see that. I've known since the very first day that I met you, you had something special, and just watching you transition has been an awesome experience for me. I know you and I have talked about it a whole lot because, we both do have issues that put us not the norm, basically.
Yeah.
I've never been normal. I mean, God forbid.
That's the funny thing is there's nothing normal about me. And I try to play it off like I'm just a regular normal person, but there's just nothing normal about it and about me. And I do stick out, and I never really realized that. And now it's even more, it's even more, I don't know. It's just now I stick out even more. Like it isn't. It's
Look,
funny.
We were meant to shine right in front.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm used to it, And I said, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. But when you're local, and you're a performer and you're somebody that somebody grew up with, a lot of people grew up with me in church and hearing me sing when I was growing up, and then when they saw this whole transition moment, it was like, okay, well, let's follow this new journey. Like, this is a whole new thing, and a lot of people have been really supportive.
Yeah.
So those people have helped me stay busy during the quarantine, even though I haven't been able to see anybody.
Yeah.
They're keeping me busy online. They're requesting songs. They want me to do, they even want to pay me, and I'm like, well, see, I usually just, I'm not really set up for all that yet, but they're helping me stay busy. I'm putting up recipes, I'm putting up food. I'm a cook, so I cook as well. I know I've cooked in nursing homes, I've cooked in country clubs and in
You're
restaurants.
cooking.
I bring that home, and now I do everything that I'm good at here at home.
Yeah. And it's funny that you bring that up about not being able to see your friends, because that's something I want to talk about, because just like we're using a resource right now, a lot of people can use Zoom to have,
Exactly.
like my boys both work in the public. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to be around each other because I do have an autoimmune disease. And so with that, for my safety, we've kind of not been able to have that interaction. And that, me and my children, I love them to death. I love to wring their necks every, 30 minutes or so.
We love them.
We Zoomed the other day. I tell you what, it was the most therapeutic thing ever. My granddaughter is 2. I love to interact with her, love to read to her, sing. Well, we can't do that. So what I've been doing is shooting a little private YouTube video. I read her a book, I sing her a song, have our little puppets that we use. And then I send the link. But now only somebody with the link can get it. So it's not like it's public on the internet. So you have things like that. You can have dinner dates, just like, on Zoom, like load up, let's have a glass of wine, let's chit chat, let's have a good time. So there's a lot of things. I've seen people playing games. Now I personally would cheat at a game if I wasn't right in front of you, because I always lose, but so note to self, don't ever play a game with Andrea online. But there's so many things that you can do to still interact with your friends. But on the same token, adults, we have to remember that kids need that interaction too. Because the kids that I talked to a couple weeks ago in my interview, it was very predominant, both of them, and they were wide different age ranges. Both said they really miss their friends. They really miss the interaction. And think about when you were growing up, that interaction is so important to molding you who you are. So I think as parents, we have to be responsible about thinking about the kids as well. So there's things give them a time, let them earn the time through the week. And on, Wednesday or Thursday, let them sit down and Zoom with their friends. Let them go on a scavenger hunt. I saw this cool idea online. So they wanted to take their kids to the zoo. Well, obviously you can't go to the zoo right now. So people would put the animals in the windows. And so the kids would go by, like the neighborhood, and it would be like a scavenger hunt. Oh, I found the sloth. Oh, I found the monkey, like in different windows. And so they could do that as a game. So just, age appropriate, obviously, because, a high schooler might not want to go looking for stuffed animals in windows.
Right. Yeah. That's
and if you come by my apartment, the sloth is usually there. So if you're looking for sloth, he's on the 3rd floor.
I know, right? No, and it's funny because there are so many things we can do to communicate and still feel connected. Like, one of my best friends, we used to hang out at least once a week. She was the only person that I let come over. I'm very private. I love to have my space, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not as affected by the being alone part, because I'm used to being by myself, and I would have at least 1 or 2 friends that would come over at least once a week. Once, maybe if I'm not feeling it, every other week, but they would still come over and we would still interact, and I would still have that moment of commodity with somebody, and it's been different, having to stay home and, being forced to stay home, not even, by my own choice. And also because, I live with my parents right now, being, that we kind of all need each other right now. So I'm staying with my parents, and my dad has, he is a cancer survivor.
I
Shout
think
out
you
to
and your parents both are a
you.
blessing to each other right now. Like watching the situation over the years play out. I think both of you right now need each other. And so I think y'all are
Definitely.
all in the right place right now.
And
And
I'm
don't ever
so,
feel bad about living with them.
oh, and I'm so lucky to have them.
They're
You
so
know,
supportive of you. I love it.
oh, and they're so supportive, and it's one of those things we don't all have that,
Yeah,
especially as a transgender human being. And even just being LGBTQ. All of that is very. We don't know how our friends and family are going to react,
exactly.
or if they're going to accept it. And the fact that my parents, have accepted it, and I'm still young enough to enjoy it, and they're young enough to get used to it.
Yeah, I think
And
I think at first it was a little odd for them, but I remember you saying, I want to say it was a 4th of July or Labor Day or something, but you saying it was an outside festival there in San Angelo, and your mother came and she posted the sweetest post. I swear to God, I'll cry think about it. But I
um,
remember the support, and it was just like, God, you know.
she's so
So
sweet.
I think that y'all
And
went
we
through
take
that
a
phase
moment.
together.
Trust me,
You
every
didn't
time
hide it
they
from
want
them, and that was,
to choke me, I want to choke them sometimes. But
don't we all?
we're here together, and I do have to be careful because my dad is a cancer survivor, so his immune system is already
Yeah,
compromised, and so I have to follow the rules. I
yeah.
have to follow the guidelines, and I feel like my friends think I'm being dramatic and over the top, but I'm literally like I cannot be out
People
there.
say that to me all the time, and I'm like, you have to realize, guys, you like
My
somebody had a cold around me in like October and coughed like 3 or 4 times. I literally had pneumonia for a month. I mean, it's
yeah,
the way my system works with the lymphedema is where the lymphatic system usually fights infection. Mine seemingly triples the infection. So it's like, let's go crazy.
yeah,
So I have to be there. I have to be careful all the time, but especially like in this day and age. And that's why my boys, they haven't been able to come over, and, they're a little bit more strict about it than I am because I want to see them, but they understand the severity of it. So
and that's good that they understand because
it's hard, bro. It's not
it's
fun.
already hard, and you already feel guilty as it
Yeah.
is, and that's how it is with depression, and I struggle with depression, anxiety, all of that, and you already feel guilty as it is. Like
Yeah.
you have this almost nonstop feeling of guilt, and I don't think people understand that part yet,
No,
because
it
they
took me a
just
while to understand it. Like when I had
it's like
to quit working and close my businesses, it took me a while.
you know, but you feel guilty anyway because you feel like you should be able to fight it, and this and that, and that's why a lot of people get on medication,
Yeah.
and I'm not one of those that is on medication because I'm more of like natural healing. I'm holistic.
Yeah.
Home take care of it naturally. Meditate. Get into your spiritual. For me, that's how I deal with it. As I go into my spiritual house, is what I call it, and it's my
Holy Spirit.
it's always been, and it always will be what gets me through everything.
Oh, exactly.
Always, no matter what. And it makes me think about Whitney Houston when she's saying, "Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Oh, Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me so." That
Yep.
is so true, and it doesn't matter who or what you are. God loves you.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Exactly.
call the higher power, that is nothing but a love energy, and we have to cling to that, and we have to make use of it. I mean, that's where we come from,
Exactly.
so we have to spread that love, especially right now.
Yeah, and it's important to remember because I have to take a lot of meds because of my condition. However, the mental side of it, I don't. I handle it on a different level, like you.
Right.
And I'm very religious, so I follow my practices there. But I also have started a regimen where every day, I don't care if I'm just staying in the home, I get up, I get dressed, I put on some makeup, I do my
Yeah,
hair, like my beautiful hair, and people laugh at
I
my
love it.
hair.
That's how my
My
hair
hair
looks
is
under here.
falling out because of the medication. My hair falls out. However, if I have it pulled up and back, it doesn't fall out as much. Odd. I use more
I
hairspray than
understand
I've ever
that.
used in my whole life. But those are things that I do every day. And somebody, my friend said, "Why do you do that every day? Like you're not going anywhere." I said, "But it's a mental thing because I'm not. If I don't do it, then I sit and I wallow or I lay in the like I'm in pain 24/7. And so if I don't do these things to make me move, make me get up and be functional, then I
Right.
will let that pain overtake, and then the mental like down
Hallelujah and
crazy.
preach, honey. I
Yeah,
know
but you
that.
have to find those self loves every day. Journal. I can't write as much because my hands um, are
I,
numb. Like I have no feeling in my fingers or my toes anymore from the neuropathy. So that's why I switched over to podcasting versus vlogging, like I used to do,
I love it.
because I still have so much I want to say.
Oh my God.
And you know me, if I can't sing it or, or write it, then I would go crazy. But everybody has to find something that they can do every day that will help them not be in that woe is me phase, you know?
Oh,
So,
and I agree 100%. Putting on a little makeup.
yeah.
Well, in my case, putting on a little makeup is putting on a lot of makeup because it just takes a
I
little
did
more
a
work,
little
honey.
makeup and it took like an hour and a half, but I learned it on YouTube. That's something
Oh,
else
well,
you
you're
can
so
do.
beautiful. You don't even need it, but it does make you feel better. You walk by the mirror and you don't look like a zombie.
Yeah.
And so you feel better, and then at the same time you start to feel more productive. You feel like, okay, at least I got myself ready, I got myself together. Let me
Exactly.
see what I can do, around the house. Let me, reorganize. I did some deep cleaning, you know, deep spring cleaning, and my room feels so much different and so much
Yeah.
better. Just having a nice organized space. Not only does it keep you busy,
Yeah.
it keeps your mind thinking.
Exactly. Like you always find something to do. But even I find it funny, and I don't know if anybody else is this way. When I put on my makeup and I get dressed, I'm like, now I can't lay down and take a nap because I'll mess up my face.
Right, I know. You can't lay down and be lazy once
I'm
you get
like,
ready.
100%
No.
of the other time I'd be laying down taking a nap. But now I'm
Oh,
like, no,
exactly.
my hair will be messed up. Like I don't want to redo it.
Exactly.
And you know me, I've never been a hair makeup kind of person. I mean, but it just it really made a difference. And it really has made like a huge difference. And
No,
um,
and for regular, if obviously, for people like me who are crazy and super perfectionist, and if they're gonna do makeup, they're gonna go all the way with it. But just a regular schmegular girl going through quarantine, going through isolation, feeling depressed, get up in the morning, girl. Put some makeup on, put a little lipstick on, put some mascara on, a little shimmer on the eyes. That's literally all you need. A little blush, and you're gonna feel so much better. And go in that kitchen and get you
brush
some
your
coffee.
teeth. like like that's part of the regimen. Brush your teeth.
Oh
Like
yeah, that's
people would think like when they're home and they're alone, they're like, I'm not gonna brush my teeth.
I skip through the brushing teeth and face washing and skincare part just to kind of make it cute. Come on, we don't want to talk about the part that you're like gagging in the bathroom.
Oh Lord. But there's so many things that people can do, and it's just I know a lot of people don't want to I don't want to say admit to it, but because I don't think it's not admitting to it. I think it's not knowing that where they're at, like because they've never been there before, like you said.
Right.
So reach out to friends. I mean, if you always check on somebody, if you haven't heard from somebody in a couple of days, reach out to them. Like you and I reach out all the time. Like, hey, how's it going? Haven't heard from you. What's up? And it's those interactions that keep somebody that's on a cut, like a cliff, from maybe taking that next step or maybe going further down, because that one person, sometimes that's the greatest text sometime at night when you send me a message and out of the blue and it's like, oh, somebody remembers me, because it is a transition. Like, and I've been doing it for a little over a year now, where being very active out in the public, like going out and singing karaoke, going to work, to literally not leaving my home. And sometimes I feel very forgotten, and that's a slippery slide sometimes.
It is. It is. And
Which,
that's why,
disclaimer, don't go on water slides. You
no,
can
don't
definitely tear your rotator cuff
don't do
at
it.
40.
No, it's
Really,
true.
that's how I did mine.
You start to feel, you know, a lot of times we do push people away.
Yeah.
And this is people who have already been kind of isolating before all this happened. That's why we're used to it. And we do tend to push people away. Um, so we have to appreciate the ones that don't go away, and that's another thing is, those are the ones that you have to keep in contact with. Let them know you're fine, make sure they're good, and stay busy, and that's another thing. If you're with a family in a household, make it a date night. If it's you and the couple, if it's just you and your man, make it a date night. It could be a Wednesday. It doesn't have to be a Friday or a Saturday. Make it, pop open some wine, make a nice little meal, make a date night, watch some movies,
Exactly.
make a moment out of it, make memories, create create content if you want. If you're one of those people that likes to be on Facebook or Instagram and talk and be on live and you got a lot of followers and friends, obviously they're following you for a reason.
Yep.
So get on there and entertain them and entertain yourself at the same time and make memories.
And I don't think you need to be ashamed to make those memories either.
I'm glad that this is why I'm glad that I came on the show because on the podcast, because it's something that I've never done this before, and so I had a good time and I appreciate it.
I think you're perfect for this, and you have a voice and you have a platform for an issue that is very prevalent in today's society. And if you can, from the confines of your home, nowhere else, take that and run with it. Because technology has been so great. Like me with the lymphedema, I can take that and I can hit that. I can tackle that. I can talk about it. I can, give solutions. I can, talk about treatments and things like that. And I don't ever have to leave my home. But because society has all this technology and all these different things that make it available for us, I stay connected. I can see my doctors in a time just like this. I can, feel like I'm helping somebody. Me, I always like to give back. So that was a hard thing for me because I really had to stop. But now I can get back on a different level. And so that's another thing that somebody can do. I encourage people, podcasts. The anchor.fm, they have a free podcast that you can start with. It's super fun. YouTube, you can go live for free. Facebook for free. Just do those little things and work up to it. And just share what you have, what gets you through the day. Share it with everybody else. There's no reason that anybody should feel alone in this world. There's jillion, trillion, million, bajillion people here. And so you're never alone.
Don't ever feel alone. You might feel lonely, but you're not alone.
Exactly.
So I think because I'm gonna have to go here in a minute. I have. This is the funny thing. Staying busy. I have 3 cats inside, 3 cats outside, and 4 dogs. So one of them is scratching at my door. The other one is I can hear the other one going crazy. But I'm so glad that I did this and that you invited me on. And this
anytime, you're welcome anytime.
We should do this more often.
Oh yeah, we can make it a regular show. You can come back. I hope you come back and cook for us. I'd love you to come back and sing for us. You and I mean, we've been talking about singing together again for years. But if I really appreciate you coming on. This is something that I want to start doing more often, is the live podcast versus just you listening to me talk.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, I do appreciate you being here today. It has been DeeMaine Reality. You can find me on anchor.fm/DeeMaine Reality. I'm also on Spotify, Apple, and 7 other platforms, all listed there. Heather is on Facebook. I will link her in my post there. Definitely follow her. She has some great content. If you want to hear a beautiful music song, just go there. Last night she hit Selena, Christina Aguilera. I was crying. She deleted it. I got mad. No, I'm just joking.
You are beautiful.
There you go, guys. So this has been DeeMaine Reality. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. We've had a great time. Thank you so much, Heather, for coming.
Love you. Thank
I
you
love
so
you.
much. I had a great time.
And we will see you next time. Bye, guys.